Hey you guys, Khalil here with the Weekly W podcast, and today we're going to be doing Let's Build a Deck. And for today's deck, we're going to be building Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. So the first part of this video is going to be going through my extra cards, and I'm going to find cards that I think will work with Lumra. And then the second portion is going to be me going through a deck that I've already made, which I'll put the deck list down below or on the screen somewhere. And we'll be tearing things out of that deck. It's a Landfall Tannuk Memorial Ensign deck. So we'll be taking cards out of there to buff up Lumra, because I have some EDH rec cards in there as well. Okay, so here we got Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. Vigilance Reach. Lumra, Bellow of the Woods' power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. When Lumra enters, mill 4 cards, then return all land cards from your graveyard to your battlefield tapped. So I'm looking for some mill, I'm looking for some landfall, and pretty much that's it. I want to make Lumra big. I want to get my big creatures out there as soon as I can. So, alright, looking through some of my extras, we got things like Deeproot Warrior, Bellow T-Rex, he's going in there because I want bigger guys, Colossal Dreadmaw. When this creature enters or dies, Surveil 1, that's a mill. Can't be blocked by creatures with flying. So this is a Reach Trample 6, that's big. I'm putting that in there. Deeproot Warrior, when it becomes blocked, that doesn't really do too much for me. Whenever a creature with flying attacks you or Palazzo, it deals damage equal to its power to that creature. So that's anti-flying. I'm going to put that over here because I'm not too sure about that. I should have some kill cards that'll take care of the flying portion of what I can't deal with. Anok Wayfarer, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them in your hand. That's a definite grab. A 1-drop Death Touch with a 1/1 for each permanent card in your graveyard, which is what we're doing. So I'm gonna pull these cards down a little bit so I can make sure I don't get dupes in. I'm pretty good at not putting dupes in, but I want to make sure for this guy that I'm doing it right. When Weary Thespian enters the battlefield, Surveil 1, so that will pretty much work off of. That's almost the exact same card as Thawbringer. So that Surveil, I can either put it in my library or put it into my graveyard, which that's my graveyard burn. So Elfsworn Giant, huge. Landfall. Mass Vandal, Changeling, you may exile a creature from you do, exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. So I don't have any... I don't specifically have any type that I'm going for here. I would love to have went elf, but I don't have enough elf cards. But I'm not going for any specific type, so I'm going to put him over here because he's a good card to have in there due to being able to change his type, that Mass Vandal. But I don't have anything that works off types. I'm pretty much pulling from graveyard and landfalling and putting out my big creatures early. So Grizzled Outrider, it's a big elf warrior. Erdleaf Mentor, that's a 1/1 green elf warrior token. He doesn't really do too much for me, other than be a body. Rustvine Cultivator. So this is one that I thought about. Remove an oil counter from Rustvine, untap target land. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there, because when I do upgrade this deck, like fully, and I spend the hundreds on it to get some of these cards, untapping that target land will lead me into a decent amount of infinite combos. So I'm going to put him over here just so I know that he's a different. Sculptor of Winter, untap target snowland. I'm going to put that over there as well because it's also that can go into infinite tapping. I'm pretty sure it could probably go pretty close into infinite tapping, or at least give me a couple turns where I can untap a specific land that can do something to my opponents or help me. So Branchblight Stalker, that's Elf, Toxic 2. I'm trying to stay away from Toxic, so he's going over there. Run Over, this spell costs 1 less if you targets a mount or vehicle you control. So this is a good target creature you control deals damage. This is a good kill card. I'm going to put that in there because it's a great kill card. So, and I'll go through here and separate my instants and creatures later. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying plus cycling. We're going to want that. Broken Wings, destroy target artifact or enchantment or creature with flying. We're going to want that. I have no flying protection, so I'm going to want to do that. Roots of Wisdom, mill 3 cards and return a land card or elf card from your graveyard to your hand. That's why I wanted to go elves. That is the main reason why I wanted to go elves, for Roots of Wisdom, because I get my mill off and then I could bring in a big elf. But I still have like this Grizzled Outrider I could bring out that would do something for me. It's decently sized on a 2-drop. And that's pretty much it. So, you know, is what it is, but that's a good card to have. I plan on doing some Elf Synergy in here. So I'm going to go ahead and, did I put my other mill cards over here? I didn't. I put them in. So he's going to go in there. Long list of ints. Note a creature type that hasn't been noted for long list. When you cast your next, creatures get the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. So that's good. But I would have to know what's in my hand. I mean, I can probably drop that in there. I'm going to put it over here. Because I could probably drop that in there. But, you know, I have nothing that works off types. Okay, so Flash, when Malamet Sight enters the battlefield attached to a target creature you control. So that's, Malamet Sight would be good. I don't see myself using a lot of equipment as compared to, like, wanting to put creatures on the field. But, we'll see. Armored Kincaller, Dinosaur, you may reveal a dinosaur from your hand. So that's a 3-drop, 3/3. If I control another dinosaur, I gain 3 life. I have 2 other dinosaurs in there, and if I find a dinosaur, it's getting put in there because they're big. So, not because I'm a dinosaur deck. I'm actually going to put him over here with Malamet. Sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So, a 2-drop, 2/2 to get me bodies on the field. Toxic, nope. Put an oil counter on Rustvine. Remove, I'm pretty sure I already had Rustvine in there. But, this is the showcased version. So I would love to have the showcase version over that anytime. Yep. So these are either my get out of here cards or my possible cards. These are my possible cards. These are my get out of here cards. Never going in. Polywallop costs 1 less for each frog you control. I don't control frogs, but this is a target creature you control deals damage equal to. I have 1 frog in there and it's Gigantode, but this is a land that enters tapped. Create a 1/1 hero list. Put a 1/1 counter on it for each land you control. That's nasty, right there. Yeah, that's gonna. And all my lands are over here. I haven't done anything with them, so I'm gonna go ahead and put because these are gonna be in the deck regardless. So I'm gonna put Xanarkand in there. Summon Fat Chocobo. Creatures you control gain trample. Create a 2/2 green bird token. This is a landfall Chocobo grab, which they're good. And really what I'm looking for is creatures you control gain trample until the end of turn. And by turn 5, I should have creatures out there that can benefit off trample. So I guess we'll go ahead and I'm going to put this one off to the side, actually. So, because if I have enough of these to make up stuff where I don't need redundancy in my deck, then I'm just going to go with what I picked out here, you know. Bard's Bow, equipped creature has 2/2 and is a bard in addition to its other types. This is a job select. So I'm going to put that over there too because that's my flying defender reach, a 3/3 2-drop snake archer enchantment creature. I mean that's yeah. I'm going to want to have my protection against flying. I'm trying to build that up a decent amount. Spectral Searchlight. So this is the only other artifact that I had left over from my artifact deck. So this is going in there because choose a player. That player adds 1 mana of any color. That's ramp. Or that's help to get a card off from another board that I don't want. I can help somebody else with mana. Whenever a creature you control mutates, nope. Seed of Hope, mill 2 cards. You put a permanent card from among them, milled that way. I'm almost positive I have not put Seed of Hope in yet. So we're going to throw Seed of Hope in. That's a great mill right there. Mill Surge, permanent grab, hopefully. And I mill already. Mill. So I'll be grabbing permanents, big permanents, hopefully. That's what I'm looking for at this point is like bigger permanents that I can throw in here. Because I feel like I got my bodies down pat. I can put bodies out there to not have to worry. Grizzled Outrider, she's in there. Eyesight Troll, big boy, 3-drop. He gets 2/0 and gains indestructible. Tap it. That's staying in there because I can make it big when I put Snowlands in there, which I'm going to. Which, with that being said, let's go ahead and put it down here. Maze's Mantle, Flash, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has Toxic, and that creature gains Hexproof until the end of turn. Enchanted creature gets 2/2. So this is a protection spell, pretty much a flash enchantment to protect protect my creatures. Plague Nurse, nope. That's toxic. I'm staying away from that. I already got Undergrowth. Halpack Alpha. I don't have any werewolves, and I have rarely any humans in here. Chocobo Kick. Target creature you control deals. That's. I don't want too many of them in there. Just saying. Galiv's Final Act until the end of turn. So this dies. Put a 1/1 counter is equal to power up to 1 target creature, which that would be pretty good too. But we're going to stay away from that for a second. And then if I put Gigantode in there. So Gigantode, there's my frog. As long as you control 7 or more lands, he's a 6/6. That's pretty nice. Ooh, so this is... I didn't know if I wanted to put Incubation in here because I don't like Incubation personally. I think that it's better done on Arena than it is in person. That was just the way I saw it first. So I felt like it was significantly better in Arena because I could just, you know, pull off 50 of these mugs. But in person, that's significantly more of a pain in the A to do. So... And then I have my Grand Pulse in here. Drover Grizzly. So this is a mount. Creatures you control. So I can saddle, which, you know, a 4/2 that I can possibly give trample. It's a bear. I'm playing a bear. He's in there. Chocobo Kick. We already got that. Territorial Scythe Cat. So this is a landfall. I'm going to pretty much, yeah, pull all my milled cards in. Make him a whatever he is, you know. So when Lumra enters, mill 4 cards and return all land cards. So I'm trying to put my land cards in my graveyard. I need landfall to trigger that. And so I'm putting these chocobos off to the side because I have some landfall cards in my other deck, my actual landfall deck, my Tannuk, that can replace some of this. So I'm putting a chocobo racetrack to the side. Reach, Death Touch, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, activate as a sorcery. So that is my Reach, Death Touch Spider. That's a good drop right there. I don't play Merfolk. Fungal Colossus, you're going in there. Kinaku, if 1 or more tokens would be created, create those tokens plus a 1/1 green frog. So sacrifice a frog. And so I don't have much token gen. I would if I threw Chocobo Racetrack in, which could be another win condition, but that'll muddy the waters, and I'm not really worried about that right now. So I'm going to throw Kino over there as this side. I'll put him in the questionables. Rise of the Varmints. Tokens were X's number of creature cards in your graveyard. So I don't plan on having a lot of creature cards in my graveyard. But this is a good like kickover just in case to get some stuff out on the field if I need to. So plus I'll be milling. So creature cards are going to be in my graveyard whether I like it or not. So mill 4 cards, yep. There's my mill, side quest, raise a chocobo. Don't really, I'm still putting all the chocobo stuff over here in questionable. Gyassel Greens, create a 2/2 when land control enters. Venomous Brutalizer, no thank you, no toxic. Enchant Land, Incubate 2. Whenever Enchanted Land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. Which, you know, that's good. That kind of runs back to my incubation that I wasn't really wanting to do. So I'm going to throw this back up top, put these together, and throw them over there. Airship Crash. Destroy target creature, artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. So, and I have Airship Crash in there already. Alrighty. So, let's get our creature count in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is not the best. I'd like to have a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 instants and sorceries. That's pretty good. My main goal is to not have to break open my landfall deck, but I have some nice cards in there that'll make this nasty. So let's open up the landfall deck and see what we can put in there. Alrighty. We got about 21 creatures, about 10, 11 spells. And our Lumra. I added Icehide Troll, Armored Kincaller, Rustvine Cultivator, Palazzo Archers, and Erdleaf Mentor. That's for like future stuff, but it'll still kind of work with what I have. If I don't like it too much and there's replacements in my landfall deck, then we'll get it. Okay, this is the commander for my landfall deck, Tannuk Memorial Ensign. It's fun. I like doing damage that they can't do anything about. So, all right, let's get a look. There's a lander token. That's a good drop. I could put that in there. And Shepherd Tenderfoot, Sea Chip Argarian. When it becomes tapped, I don't have anything that taps my creatures, sadly. Explore the Underdark. 2 basic land cards, gates, put them onto the battlefield, shuffle, you take the initiative. So that's pretty nasty. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle, create a food token. That's good. Land ramp. Another creature destroy. I'm not doing that. Sorry. So, use social engineering when a land you control enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. That would be great, but I don't think I can get that off. Glacier Godmaw. Yeah. He's going in there. He's huge. Whenever this creature becomes Hemosymbic Might, I'm going to keep him in here. So I'm going to kind of see what I took out so I can replace in, so I can still play this deck, because I do like this deck. Oh, Lazy and Caryatid. Yeah, that's however you say that's going in there. Larval Scoutlander. Search library for 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. That's good, but I kind of want those mills. Whenever this creature blocks creature with flying, this creature gets 5/0. When a land you control enters, you gain 1 life. Cause them to do Nectar Pot. That'll be nasty. Dominion Bracelet. I might throw that in there for gigs, actually. X is this creature's power. Yeah, because I could put that on my Lumra and immediately you control target opponent during their next turn. So that's probably going to go in there for fun. Ice Cape Crasher, that's going in there. McKindy Slide Runner would be nice. Woe's Pathfinder, another target creature gets 3/0 and gains Trample. Human Shaman, add 1 mana, so that's a ramp. Go ahead and keep that in there. A Search Land. Do I want Search Lands? I'm going to put that off to the side. So I don't really care to play specific infinite combo lands or stuff like that. If I'm playing my lands, I want my lands to go out. I'm pretty simple when it comes to... So it gains Reach, Trample, and Indestructible. I need that for the Biosynthetic. That is a great protection. Look at the top card of your library. Put up to 2 land cards from among them on the battlefield. Tap the rest of the bottom of your library. Put fewer than 2 lands on the battlefield. Proliferate any number of times equal to the difference. So there's some really nasty proliferation. I don't think I have anything that really deals with counters, so that sucks. But the library search for 2 lands is pretty awesome. I'll take that for sure. Rhino's Rampage, obviously, has red in it. That sucks. Territorial Scythe Cat's going in there. Gene Pollinator going in there. Fungal Colossus, I already put him in there. Territorial Balloth going in there. Ice Till, yep. That's what I was looking for to put in this deck, was Ice Till Explorer. So in any landfall or land anything deck, this is just nasty. It's a $14 card. So you may play an additional land on each of your turn. You may play lands from your graveyard. So there's a lot of Kabu stuff in here too. So I feel bad, but I'll just replace them. Frontier Guide. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. And then shuffle your library. Which, that's good. It's kind of expensive for 4. I should already have the mana to do so. And with it being a 1/1, I'm not sure if I want to put that in my deck. Precious Wandering is pretty good, but that's another search land. I think I have enough search to be real. Anti-Causal Vestige. When this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card of mana value less or equal to the number of lands you control. Front, which is everything. Llanowar Visionary, yep. Target creature gets 1/0 and gains Vigilance. It deals damage. That's another damage dealer. Engineered Future. When this enchantment enters, create a lander token. Each creature you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter for each land that entered the battlefield under your control. So that's fun, but that's really hard to... I mean, it's not, but I don't have haste on any of my stuff. So it'll be slightly more difficult for me to do this without getting insta-killed immediately. I would like to do that, because if I can play my Lumra my Lumra, and, you know, pull all those lands out, play a creature, give them those counters, and buff up. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there, because I just talked myself into it. Thank you, guys. Spider Manifestations and Evolving Wilds. Alrighty. So we're going to take out 2 greens, throw that Evolving Wild and that in there. Okay, so we are about 11 cards short. Let's go back through what I put away and kind of put in a few filler cards. Alrighty, to complete our Lumra, we went ahead and threw in the Incubate Grab. That should be good. I feel like most precons have stuff like that too, so if I would be able to bring that, I can't bring it back, but whatever. Gallus Final Act and Chocobo Works. We're just gonna go ahead and do it. Sculptor of Winter, I threw her in there, which I might actually replace her for Kinaku. But I don't want to because I don't plan on making that many tokens, I guess, as much as I'd like to. I have token tech in here, but I don't feel like I have enough to... Yep, I do, actually. I'm going to go ahead and throw out Bard's Bow because I have enough protection, and throw in Kinaku. So that way, if I do create... This will trigger off my Polywallop because I'll control frogs. And also, I just create tokens. So this will just be a little bit of a token gen. He's a 3-drop legendary 2/3. So, I mean, its body's on the field as well. So, but yeah, Chocobo Works. That plus our 40 lands, including our 2 search lands and a couple of special ability lands we have, plus Lumra, will complete this deck. Let's do a quick test 7 to see what we grab. And the spread: Spectral Searchlight, Crossroads, Forests, Blighted, Anti-Causal, Icehide Troll. This would be a great hand if I top deck a land, because then I could have these 2 out there, throw my Spectral Searchlight. I really don't want Blighted Burgeoning in there yet, so it might be good to mulligan. So let's see what we get. Okay, draw our next 7. 1, 2. Forest, Gaiasul, Hunter's Maze, Forest, Bamboo Grove, and Forest. This is what we want. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Put that back in there. Bottom. So yeah, we pulled a Gaiasul Greens, which is our Chocobo grab. We have a Defender Reach, 2-drop, 3/3, discard to destroy target creature, and 4 lands. I had a 5th in there, so, but yes, I mean, from that first pool, that's playable. So, yeah, let's go play. All right, so there you go. Our next step is gonna go ahead and scan all this, get it all digitized, and then I'm gonna check the power level. But I may not do that until we actually play it for the first time. So be on the lookout for the next video in this series of the Lumra build, where we'll be playtesting the deck against all my brothers in the Weekly W. So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell for the rest of what we have going on. Thank you.